Hey everyone, and welcome to the Magically Dyed Yarns YouTube channel. My name is Sam.
And I'm Steph.
And today we are going to share about a lot. So we have our Stephen West Mystery Knit Along kits that we are going to show you. I have one finished object, 2 whips, and I went to Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. So I have some yarn acquisitions and some other fun stuff.
I got nothing. No, I have one almost finished, so that's my whip. I did not buy any yarn.
Because you didn't go. Hang on, she did not go to Wisconsin Sheep
I did not. I was at
went.
Epic, which is crazy. It's so fun. And what else? Did we talk about the yarn crawl?
No, we didn't. So she can tell you about the yarn crawl.
I can tell you about our yarn crawl.
So we'll do that at the end after we go through everything. I did only purchase yarn from one dyer. I saw some other ones and I was like, oh, I was kind of rushing. I knew what I wanted. So I was like, okay, in and out. I need to go home.
I gotta tell you something about Bumblebee Acres though.
I love them.
They may not be able to get their textile person just got bought out. Amanda was telling me that she talked to them for like a long time at Sheep and Wool. So
I'll keep an eye out then because I love them.
Yeah, that just made me think of
That's where I bought all my stuff from.
Yeah, so did she, which is why she talked to one of the dyers there.
They gave China some free. Okay, I'll talk about it at the end. Okay, so our Stephen West kits.
We're very excited, even though I did not finish the last one.
Yes.
I will be starting this one because,
So on October 4th, we will have our first episode. It's going to be, I will show the 3 previous shawls that I have knit. We will show you our wound up yarn and if we did do a gauge swatch, which I don't know if we will or not. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Maybe.
Nah.
I kind of like to see how the colors play with each other. So maybe. Okay, so we will now show you the kits that we have put together, which are available in both our Etsy shop and our Shopify shop.
Yes, and everything on Shopify is good to go, so I'm very excited. So this is mine.
She's very excited.
I'm very excited. The original inspiration was Starry Night. I knew I wanted to do gold after looking at a bunch of inspiration pictures. So that was my main one. And then we were kind of finding other things that we wanted to do, and I kept coming back to this blue. I was
the prettiest blue.
Was able to dye this. This is probably the most solid color we have in our shop.
Probably. It's very saturated and very vibrant.
Yes, it turned out exactly how I wanted. I mean, I wanted it maybe just a touch darker, but I'm super happy with it. After some pictures, we decided that this would look like Beauty and the Beast almost.
Or the macaroni.
I was gonna say that. So quick story, I was dyeing it and I was dyeing the blue and I was super excited for it. But then I was like, I want to go back outside and look at my gold. I brought it in and I'm carrying in a pot. And I'm like, this smells like macaroni and cheese. Sure enough, I brought it down. I'm like, it's the macaroni and cheese box. But
we love it.
Also Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast or Brewers.
Or Brewers, yeah. Or Starry Night, which was the...
Yes.
Or, it's just...
I think, our inspiration pictures that we put up for these, they match wonderfully.
They do.
I'm so happy with it.
Yeah, I was actually really pleased with that too. We were able to, you can see where we got our colors from, and they turned out pretty true to that. And then my mohair dare, decided to do something just very basic, just because of how bold my colors are to begin with. We wanted something that would, stand out a little bit, but not overshadow the brilliant colors that we have here.
And are you planning to use your mohair?
I don't know. I really do like it.
You don't have to.
I've never used mohair, so we'll see. I don't want to destroy it, so I'm a little bit nervous about it. But we'll see.
I think because you're not holding it by itself. It's gonna be with something else. Or I think you said you could hold it by itself if you wanted to, but you have some options, so it's not as scary.
If I can hold it with something else, I think that will be better. Because then it'll feel like a thicker weight yarn. Yeah. Which may be nice. So I like that.
You have some options there because I think on his video, he was saying that you could hold it by itself or you can pair it with one of the other yarns.
Clearly I was talking over that video, so I have no idea what was going on.
All right, so my color palette, so happy with it.
It's so pretty.
Go more neutral. And
I love it.
This is I'm
throwing it.
So these are the main colors. I'm so happy with how this turned out.
They turned out so close to your picture. It's so cool. And there's
love it.
Hair.
Of course. Hair. I know, there's hair in yours too.
I know, I was like,
And then this is my mohair dare, which I think I'm gonna do, because I just love the way this pairs together.
That blue just has such a nice pop.
Yes, so the 3 palettes that we have a nice neutral palette. We have her bold palette. And then the last one we have is our neon. And this is just so much fun.
Yeah.
So I used our fluorescent neon colors. So these will actually glow under black light as well.
So these would be really fun to make a shawl with.
Yes. And I decided that if no one buys this, please buy it though. But if no one buys it, there is a shawl called the Pim Pom Shawl by Laura Penrose that I want to knit for my daughters.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Because I thought they would love this. But I love the speckles.
I love the speckles. That's my favorite part. I'm just partial to speckles though. Like every time we do a speckle product, it's like, oh, I love this one so much.
And because I knew this one was going to be so bright and just so, there was a word I was using, but it was just going to be, it was going to be a lot. So I wanted to do something to complement
saturated
it.
Too.
Yeah.
This is a really nice saturated color as well. So
so pretty. And then the mohair dare to go with it is this bright yellow. I was thinking about doing a neon green, but I thought the yellow.
I like the yellow better.
Pair better with the pink.
Because clearly pink lemonade.
Yes. But I thought it went really well together.
Yes, I love those.
So, like we said, those are available in our shop right now.
Yes.
So you can get those. Sorry, I just broke a nail too.
Oh.
And then we will start recording our mystery shawl Go-Go Dynamo is the name of it this year.
I will forget that.
That's okay. We're gonna have the first episode out on October 4th. So I don't know what time. It depends on what time I get to edit it. So stay tuned for that though. And then every Friday during the knit along, and then 1 week after the last clue is released, we will have the final episode and show you kind of where our progress is. I am not going to bank on the catching up. I'm not going to put money on it because it's really hard to find time to knit. I can barely knit a pair of socks in a month, let alone a 4-skein shawl.
Yeah. I got through like clue 2 last year, so my goal is to get through clue 3.5 or
Go
3.
for it. Just make it to 3
or 2.5 even.
Like, I'm just so excited to use these colors.
I know, I'm actually kind of excited.
I said, I think this is my favorite colorway that we've ever dyed. Well, that I've dyed.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite blue. I just think
so
it's so
much.
pretty. Okay, looks like it'll be fun to knit with. I'm very excited for it.
Yes. So let us know in the comments if you're planning to knit the Go-Go Dynamo shawl.
And your colors.
And your colors.
Some of my friends' colors. They're very nice and neutral too.
So let us know if you have like a more neutral palette like mine, a bold palette like Steph's, or a neon palette.
That was like me at work today.
I can talk. I swear. I have words. Okay. Let me move this aside now.
Okay. Close to the side.
Oh. It came on. Okay. It really wants to be wound up. All right. So I will start with my finished object. It's just a pair of socks. I knit these socks. And I finished them.
That's the second breakfast?
Yes, so this is the second breakfast pattern by Sock Witchery. No, I don't think she's having her sale anymore. She was having a sale. I was debating. But I did, and this is in the colorway Wingardium Leviosa by Bumblebee Acres. It is their Hogwarts Order of Magical Makers monthly club. And I forgot what month this is. I want to say it was May. But it might have been June. I don't remember, but it is beautiful. It is super squishy and I love it. And I get this on their Coquette sock base, which is a 75% Corriedale wool, 25% nylon.
Nice.
Yeah, I like them. Very happy.
Especially as we're getting into fall.
Yes.
Well, I mean, this week is 80, but
yeah, it's 80.
Doesn't count.
82. So I figure I'll just talk about this one real quick because it's the same. It is the next month's club that I got, which I don't have the tag for. So July or August, hang on, because I just got August and I have July. So this one's June. That one was May. This one is June. So this is the same base, everything, different pattern though. So Bumblebee Acre is my June club. What was this one? It was called the something cottage. It is Bill and Fleur's cottage that they have, but I can't remember. starts with an S and I cannot remember the name, but it is a beautiful neutral color. The pinks and the sagey color right there. Oh, I love it. So same exact everything, 2x2, I didn't even say it. 20 rounds of 2x2 ribbing for the cuff. This pattern is the String of Lights pattern by Sock Butchery.
Those are your two favorite, right?
They are my two favorite patterns. Here,
She's like, what one should I do? And she gave me those two options.
But I love the way that this one is looking with the yarn.
Yeah, no, it's super pretty.
It's great. And then I knit all of my socks on US 1 2.25 millimeter 9-inch circulars. And I do a 64 stitch cast on. So look at this. It's just so pretty.
I say, that one looks really big.
It's just, it's very, so it's a thicker ply. I don't know the right words. It's a thicker, but it's thicker than like the normal 75-25 that I typically use. So there's less serratage, but it's very, very squishy and very, like it's a little thicker, so it's warmer.
Yeah, I was like, am I going crazy? That one seems huge.
No, and I just started the sock, so
I know.
I don't have much done.
It's okay.
But you can talk about your whip while we're on the socks.
Yeah, so finally almost done with my second sock. I would have been done, but you know, I got pretty far along and then measured it against the sock and realized I had like about that much extra on the leg, and I was like, that's not okay. I probably would have done more today, but I forgot my sock to compare it to, because now I'm like, ooh, I should probably do that instead of just counting rows, because I've noticed that my tension gets a little wonky, especially like depending on the time of day, how tired I am, etc., what I'm out, what else I'm doing. So, but this is just the vanilla sock from Crazy Sock Lady. So 64 cast on.
Oh, hang on. I'm being told good night.
Good night.
Good night, Mommy.
I love you.
See you in the morning.
See you in the
Bye,
morning,
buddy.
babe.
I also have the 2x2 ribbing. I did try one time to do the like a 1x1 ribbing, and I did not like the way it looked. Like, I prefer the 2x2. So I have left to, I have like one or two, I think I'm actually almost done. One round left on the foot, and then I'm going into my toe. So I'm pretty excited about that. I found my needles. So
What's the shoe?
8.5. I know, but I wanted to match
I know
this
you need
one.
to match. I'm curious.
How close I am.
Yeah.
I tried this one on and it fit really nice. I also like my socks super snug.
Me too. So I actually knit mine. So I'm also an 8.5. I knit mine to either the 7 or the 8.
Like finished or like
That's when I start my toe.
Okay. I feel like this is gonna be smaller then, because
I'm just curious. I'm just measuring it.
I did
care.
try it on.
You do what you want. That's the beauty about making your own socks, is that you can customize them to whatever like you like. So according to this, you did it yours to like a size 7.
Okay.
Like 7.5, 8.
So hold on. So how far off are we on this one? Because I should have actually I think I have like 10 more rows left before I get into it. I have to finish counting. Sorry, we're playing Sock Doctor now. Sorry.
I would say, okay, well, like measuring it like this.
Yeah.
It actually seems like you're ready to start your toe.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we're moving on to my toe now that we got the she's.
But I love this. Okay, so sock ruler by Twice Shade Cheap. One side it has the rulers, and the other side it has your sock where you would start your toe and your foot. It's got kids, women's, and men's, but it goes from a size kids 13 to a woman's 5. So when you have kids who are in a size like 3, 2, this doesn't really help, but it's not. It's fine.
I like it. That's
you can
cool.
still use the roller on the other side.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm excited to be finished with that and moving on to different projects.
Are you excited to be done with like your first pair of fingering weight socks?
I am. I've been working on these since last November.
Love it. So I guess what's your biggest takeaway from like knitting a pair of socks?
Well, making sure if you finish one sock to have your other sock to line it up and not just like go by how many rows you did, because I was very vigilant about marking my rows every 10 to making sure I had that. But like I said, like my tension started changing. also I'm way too much of a perfectionist. I really don't know how to change that, or like I had a sock done and the toe was wonky. But you know, then I decided it's my stuff.
Yep.
So like not letting people like criticize the fact I've been working on this sock since November, which nobody has done. It's just my own. Everyone's like, okay.
Your brain's criticizing you.
Yeah. You do you. That's fine. It's your sock. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Don't judge me. I've ripped this apart 800. Nobody really cares how many times I've ripped apart my sock. But it also, I can see like how it's impacting the yarn too by ripping it apart. So I'm like, probably shouldn't do that so much.
Do you think you've learned a lot since like last November when you started knitting it?
Yeah, it's a lot easier. Like I can mindlessly I think I finally found a good place to put my hands and hold my yarn. Where I'm not, although I did see somebody wrapping.
Right. You can wrap it.
Knit like me, that he went like this.
Do whatever you want.
And I was like, okay, but I found a way to be more, I feel like I'll have a maybe more consistent tension and when I hold it correctly, like when I hold it like this between my fingers versus just wrapping it.
Yeah.
I think I was pulling too tight when I was wrapping it too. And whereas this one lets, like especially for socks, you're gonna need a little bit of give and it can't be like.
Yeah, you have to have a little bit of stretch. So I as well, I only count rows on my leg. I do not count rows on my foot for that same reason because I would have like an inch or two.
Yeah.
Larger sock.
But it was my leg that would cause me problems.
Yeah. But so I don't measure my foot.
Okay, sure.
I only measure like count rows for my leg and then I measure my foot using a sock ruler.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start.
That way those are the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my one sock and I'll try to measure that one out. And then like when I go to make a second sock, like I'm just gonna go by the first sock.
Yeah.
And try to make sure it's somewhat even.
Makes sense.
But if you notice I have my Harry Potter shirt, you'd think I'd like Harry Potter a little bit more than I do. I mischief managed. My husband was actually wearing the same shirt.
Oh, because I made you them.
Yeah, because we had, I actually found it because I was like folding it up, all like the baby clothes that I wanted to keep. So I kept all the homemade stuff. And so one of the girls said, I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. And then Chris and I had mischief managed.
Yep.
So I was changing at different times than him, but we both put on our comfy clothes and this is what we came out with. So
I'm glad you still wear them.
I do, except it's peeling a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that.
But
that happens after a while.
But yeah, so that's kind of on my thing, and then getting ready for the MCAL knit along, and then maybe working on my other shawl.
Oh, Lily was telling me that.
Oh yeah, no, I have to crochet a shawl because they have been literally fighting over the mini crochet shawl I made Lily.
Yeah.
Like viciously.
She was telling me about it. She's like, Maddie keeps stealing my shawl.
Yeah, if you want to know all my secrets, talk to my kids. They'll tell you everything.
They do. I love them. Okay, I will talk about my next whip. Okay, so this is what it has gotten most of my attention is this shawl I'm knitting.
It's so pretty. I love that color.
I love it.
It's so soft.
This is my shawl. I can't.
Like how big these needles are. That's
right?
awesome.
They're huge. Okay, so this is the original prayer shawl by Prayer Shawl Ministries. And I am knitting it according to pattern. And this is needle size US 13, 9mm. And I am using Lion Brand's homespun yarn. And I love it. And this is going to someone very, very special to us. And I love it. It's going to be so warm and so cozy.
Yeah,
like one warm hug, which is what I wanted for her. And I asked my mom what color, and she's like, something bright. And I'm like, this isn't so bright, but
that's all mom's favorite
something colorful.
It is very colorful.
And
I think it's versatile.
I think she'll like it. Yeah, I think she'll like it. So that has been what's getting the majority of my attention because this is Skein 3.
My goodness.
So once I'm done with this, I'll be done with this. And I'm hoping to finish this by the end of the week. It should be done. Like, it should be done. Once I work on it, it knits up so quickly because, like, it's on a size 13 needle.
That's huge.
It's ginormous. But that's what it said. It was, I think you could choose between an 11 or a 13. And I knew I wanted it because the yarn was so thick. I wanted to use a thicker needle.
Yeah. And
I don't remember. I'm just knitting it according to the pattern. And then you stop when it's like 57, 60 inches. So it was like a wingspan, like, right? That's what it's called.
I know.
We read too many books.
I don't. I wish I read more, but
I did not even write down the books that I read this week.
I didn't finish any. I did start one when I was at work the other day.
This week, it's been a month, but okay. So, anything else?
That's all my knitting life.
Okay. So since we did the yarn crawl first, I'll have you talk about that, and then I will talk about sheep and wool.
Sure. So a couple weeks ago, I was able to participate in Nitch's yarn crawl. I had a ton of fun. So it's really cool. It was downtown Delafield, so it's a nice homey store where like people just sit in the back closer to where I was and like knit, or like people working would come back and knit when they weren't doing.
Nice.
They were so sweet. Like I feel like I learned a lot about knitting, just like what other people. Because there was one lady who's like, "Well, did you ever think about doing this?" I was like, "This is my first sock. I didn't think about anything. I just do what I'm told." She's like, "Oh yeah, you could knit them twice at the same time," and I'm like, I don't know how to do that.
Well, see, I've knit 2 at the same time on Magic Loop, and I did not like it.
So she's like, "Oh, it goes faster." I'm like, yeah, I just want to get it done. But it was kind of cool. Like, it was really cool to see like her husband would come in and he would knit, and he was just making these gorgeous garments, and like he was making a cardigan. I was like, that's awesome. But he wraps like I do, or like I did. So I was like, it's kind of interesting to see that, because he can make these beautiful garments while wrapping his yarn, where I don't see that a lot with people that do the wrapping. It was really cool, and just being able to hang out there, and we were able to talk to people and sell some yarn. So that was fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's such a cute little town too. They have like 3 ice cream shops you can walk to. So I did, my last day I got a milkshake.
I was not able to go because I could not find a babysitter, and having 4 children in a smaller yarn store was just not a good idea. So we did go on Friday to set up. We met everyone. Yeah. Everyone was so nice.
Yeah, they were so very sweet.
I did not buy any yarn, but I didn't bring it, and I can't go get it. But I did get a new little tin. It's got a dragon on it from Tri-Steered Sheep, and I put all of my dragon accessories that I already had from them in that tin.
I would go back there and buy yarn. There's so much that's like super reasonably priced too.
Yeah,
which is really nice. It's just a hike.
Yeah, it's like an hour-long drive from where we are, but I think like making a special trip out there.
Yes, making a special trip for sure.
It's nice.
I don't buy yarn very often anyways, so like it would be a special trip, and I would probably take the kids to go eat at that little sandwich shop or get ice cream.
Oh yeah, I went to that coffee shop. They had really good sandwiches there.
Yes, that was like our first like visit out there. We went to go talk about what the day would be like, and it was so relaxed. Like I felt so at ease.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. I'm hoping next time if we do this again, I can, or even if I just want to go do the yarn crawl and like go to the different stores. It was just my kids are too little right now.
Yeah, that would have been hard, but it was nice that she came and helped set up, and then teardown's always so much easier.
Yeah, because you just throw everything. You don't have to make it look nice. You just throw it.
No. But I did get some knitting done over that time.
Oh, and they were probably there to help you too.
It was so funny because I'm like, there's a genetic thing that missed me, because like my mom's cousin was sitting there and someone's like, "Fix this." I was like, "Ooh, that sounds familiar," because I do that to her. Fix it.
You need to have your fix it person.
Yes, and they're like, "Oh yeah, she's an expert when it comes to knitting." So I was like, "Oh, that's super cool." Like I didn't get that gene, because then my aunt's bags are out there too.
Yeah,
and they were fun to look at. Just some cool patterns out there.
She did. I almost bought one, but I was like, no, I cannot buy a bag. I was so close to buying one though.
They had this really cool bag that said tote on it, and I really wanted it, and I should have bought it, but I didn't. I was too tired by the last day.
Yeah,
I am introverted by nature, and so 3 days of people, and then like the following week I was doing a rummage sale for 3 days with my cousin. I was like,
so much.
I can't talk to people that much. But it's okay. But yeah, overall this experience was wonderful. I had a lot of fun.
Right. And then since I did not do that, I went to the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. So it just ended this past weekend. I had a really good time. But I was trying to rush a little bit so I had to wait for my mom to get off work at 2 because I didn't have a babysitter. So I took all my kids with me. And I mean, I have 4 small kids. My oldest is 7. And they actually had such a good time in the beginning. I will preface that. In the beginning, towards like after like a half hour, they're like, can we go see the sheep? And we did. The baby sheep, the lambs, they were so cute. But anyways, my 7-year-old son, who was refusing to talk to his teacher about a problem he was having in school, like literally was going up to everyone going, what is this? Like, what are you doing with this? And just talking to everyone. And he did so great. And he was super into the spinning wheels. And so he wants to learn how to spin yarn. He was like, Mom, when I'm older, I'm going to spin yarn and I'm going to give it to you and you can knit it for me.
That's so sweet. Yeah. Sue from Knit just showing Maddie how about spinning yarn too. He
was so like memorized by the spinning wheels.
So, like I found myself, because she was spinning when we were just kind of sitting in the back, and I was just watching her spin her yarn, and I'm like, this is so cool, because she like dyed all the fibers and stuff.
Yeah, so. That's so cool. And so he saw like these little it's like roving balls, and he's like, what is this? Like, what do you use this for? And they're like, oh, it's for felting. Do you know how to felt? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I don't know how to felt. I don't.
So what hobby you don't have?
You just like stick things, and I think it looks like so much fun, but I cannot get another hobby right now.
Okay.
And so when we were at Bumblebee Acres, he was helping me hold out the yarn that I got, and they're like, he was looking at the stickers. He's like, what are these? They're like, they're stickers. You can take one.
Aww.
I gave him a sticker.
That is so sweet.
And so I'll show my non-yarn stuff first. And so one of the things he was super into was this felted soap. And he's like, what is that? Like, why is there yarn in the soap? So the lady was so sweet. And so she's the felted soap lady. This is her business card. Sorry, there's a glare.
I'll say you're not, I don't think.
There you go.
Kinda.
I'll have her linked below if there's a link. Yeah, she has an Etsy shop, so I'll link her Etsy shop. She was like, she told them all about it. She's like, oh, there's yarn around the soap, and it's kind of like, it makes it a little rougher, so it makes your hand smoother when you use it, and it'll shrink as, like, the yarn will shrink with the soap as you use it, and like, she showed him what you were left with, and he thought it was super cool, and so we bought some soap, and it smells so good.
It does smell really good.
I got the regular soap. She does have a goat milk option that I was looking at that I wanted to get. I don't know why I didn't grab the goat milk, but I didn't, and it's fine. But he had a great time. My girls were just looking at the yarn. They were kind of overwhelmed. Like, we don't do
anything.
We're not around a lot of people, so they were just kind of overwhelmed. I took my mom, and I was going to get her a skein of yarn for her birthday, which is coming up. And she was just too overwhelmed that she could not even think straight too. She's like, there's just so much, and I don't know what I'm looking for. So at the end, she was just like, why don't you just dye me something? And I was like, all right. I was like, I just wanted to get you something special. And I was like, oh, they have the super sparkly yarn from the Leading Men Yarn Co.
Yeah, because we can't.
That I got last time. I don't have the Lorex base or a sparkly base at all. So I was like, and my mom, one of her favorite colors is sparkle. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, why don't you go back here and like see if you like anything? She's like, I don't need a sparkle. It's okay. I'm like, okay, we'll just go. It's fine.
I could see where it overwhelms me because it is smaller spaces. Thankfully, it wasn't hot out this year though.
It was super
beautiful.
Nice out. It was so nice out.
Nice and cool. So I feel like maybe that helped. But I know when I went with you last year, I was like, there's too much. No,
we went 2 years ago.
Oh, we went 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, too much, too hot.
It was hot. There's a lot. It's a little overwhelming. And then I will say, so the reason why I wasn't just gonna go with like a stroller is because you can get through with a stroller, but trying to get into some of the booths, it's pretty hard.
Too small, yeah.
They are very small. That is like one complaint, because I'm thinking like if I'm having trouble with like a small stroller, like wheelchair accessible, it is on a farm.
Yeah.
I just don't know how accessible it would be for some people.
Yeah.
So I put on my baby carrier, we held hands, and it was fine. Yeah. They were squishing all the yarn. They also really liked the roving, so they were all looking at it like, can I touch it? And I'm like, you can squish it, and then we're gonna walk away.
Yeah, lots of people squish yarn. I didn't realize it was a thing until the yarn crawl. Sorry, I'm jumping back, because the yarn crawl is like the first time we've been somewhere where it's like people that actually know what they're talking about. Like, I had to text her half the time. I'm like,
She was calling and texting me like, what do I do?
what do you have to say about this? Because the people are asking about like how it would knit, some of the skeins would knit up, and they were asking about like what they would need for a project. I'm like, let me call my yarn person. But yeah, like they would come by and just squish the yarn. So I
love to squish
It was really
I don't
cute because
care.
one of the ladies that worked there bought a bunch of our mohair, but she was just sitting there petting it. So that was a lot of fun. This is like, oh, this is a thing. People expect you to squish their yarn.
Yes, like some people have signs that says, please squish my yarn.
That's funny.
Okay, so I will show you what I purchased. I got the Akatar collection.
Of course.
So this is 2 colorways that I did previously buy when they originally had it. So I got, a Court of Mist and Fury, and these are all on their coquette base because I have plans, which I'll talk about in a second. But this is a Court of Mist and Fury. I love it. I love the speckles.
I like the speckles.
And then I got To the Stars Who Listen and the Dreams That Are Answered.
When I read that phrase, I always cry.
So much. Oh my god, look at how pretty it is.
That one's beautiful.
Gorgeous. I love it. Okay, so then I am kicking myself though because I missed out on one color and I'm hoping that they bring it. Not that I missed out on it, I accidentally grabbed the wrong one. But I'm still happy with what I got. So now I'm waiting for them to update. I don't know if they're updating at the end of the week.
Sure.
Or if they're updating after the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. But I'm hoping that they have it. I thought I grabbed the Resand colorway, but I grabbed the Cauldron Maid.
I love that.
But
I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I love this one. They are very similar. It's just Resand. It has a brighter purple
Oh, I like the
in
picture.
his. And I will be getting it if they have it. So yeah, this one is Cauldron Maid.
I love the dark purple. We had one of our colorways we had like darker colors like this.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Which one? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
That's fine. And then I got Netcourt Palace. Oh, I forgot one of my yarn acquisitions because I got my club from them.
Just have to update it next time.
This is Elaine. I went back and forth on this one, but
I can't believe you got Elaine. I'm just kidding.
I am Elaine, so I think that's why I got it. Like, she gardens. Now, I can't garden to save my life, but when she finally got back into herself, she was baking bread with...
And making smart comments.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? The more I really, like, read into Elaine...
No, let's
I'm
be
probably
really here.
Elaine.
The more you listen to the fangirl...
No, because I'm rereading the series, too.
Yeah, I got it. I would say, but the fantasy fangirls really...
Yeah, where like they talk about like she's always trying to help. She's like her first response is what can I do? And I feel like that is very me. That is
very much you.
It's what can I do to help?
Yes.
And I also bake.
You do.
And I don't know, I like to think I'm kind of on the sunnier side of things. I do like to make fun of people though. So anyway,
you're mean.
I can be a little mean. And then Feyre.
Interesting.
Whenever I hear Feyre, I just think of the bone cover. Feyre.
I just listened
from the audiobook.
Yes, I listened to the audiobooks.
And then A Court of Thorns and Roses.
The original.
And I am so happy. Okay.
This will be fun to knit up. Like, that'll be really interesting. It's got so many
I know. I'm so excited.
different colors in it.
So this is my plan with all of my 100...
I'll just hold these up.
Such a pretty bouquet.
My bouquet of yarn.
Yes. So my plan, along with my Harry Potter monthly clubs that I got, I got 2 advents from Bumblebee Acres. I got their Throne of Glass advent.
I love Throne of Glass.
And I just reread it.
Like, the entire thing? The entire series?
No, the first book. I have the second one too. And then I'm also getting their Harry Potter advent as well because it's The Goblet of Fire, which is my favorite book.
I think it's my kid's favorite movie.
And I justified getting 2 because they are 10-gram mini skeins instead of the 20. So that makes sense, right?
Yeah,
that way it's like one advent.
Are you sure? Yarn math.
You know. So my plan for my advents is to make the Jelly Roll blanket.
Oh, that's right. You were talking about
from
that.
Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. And I want it to be very big. I want it to be a nice, like, larger blanket so I can, like, cuddle up in it. I'm planning to make it 60 inches long. And so I'm trying to, I know that the Advent is not going to make a big blanket like I want.
Well, because it's only the 10 grams.
Yes.
So you have to get a bunch of the 100 grams.
So I'm using my leftovers after knitting myself a pair of socks with all of these. I will be adding the leftovers into the blanket until it is the size that I want. That is my plan. And then I'm going to have, which is why they're all in the Coquette sock base. So it's going to be like a semi-warm, but like not too warm blanket that I can just like cuddle up in. I say I will cuddle up in it.
Your kids are going to steal it.
I will not be. I do have, because I was using it. So this was my first Advent I had ever purchased. And this is what I made with it. I can't remember the name of the pattern. It's by Sock Witchery though. But this is what I made.
Because my legs are cold, but I didn't.
Yeah, so this was my first Advent. This was the Encanto Holiday box by Fangirl Fibers. And this is what I made. Oh, it's called Scrap Witchery. That is the name of the blanket. Scrap Witchery by Sock Witchery. So
your ends all look real nice.
Except for when you get to over here.
You got bored? Yeah.
They kind of started peeking out at the end. So I am so excited because like I like this one. It is a very nice lap blanket, but I want something I can like wrap up in.
I always want blankets that I can just like throw over myself on when I'm like on the couch watching TV at night.
I like to like wrap up in a blanket. But
me too.
I do like this one.
I'll be fine.
I have not touched my other blankets that I'm working on.
Your square blanket?
Yeah.
That's okay. You've been working on other things.
Yeah. So like I said, I have really been working on the prayer shawl to get that done because I want to get to the person.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because now I'm back at work, so I have a little bit more time for knitting. Like today, I had like 2 hours of prep.
Nice.
Just didn't do anything. Well, I did, but I knit for a little bit.
Yeah, so that is the plan with all of these beautiful skeins. And I love the Jelly Roll blanket because I feel like it's going to give each yarn its chance to shine in the blanket because it's not like going to be muddled with anything else. It is going to be held single and like it's just a little strip, but it's going to show off the color.
Nice.
So I'm very excited. That is all of that.
All right.
So coming up, we don't really have much, just the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along, and planning for that.
Yeah.
I was asked to knit some socks for my niece. I'm so excited to do it.
Yeah, she doesn't really ask for anything.
I know, she never asked me for anything, and I was like, I will knit you whatever you want.
Really, my kids ask for everything. Like, can you do this? No. I don't want to. But, so, as she was at Sheep and Wool, I got to go to, it's called Epic. It is the healthcare system campus out in Verona, Wisconsin. It's really interesting. It is massive, but each like section was, I think his mom said, helped designed by a Disney Imagineer. So it has incredible details. It is so much like, it's a lot. I think.
What is this place? I don't even know.
Okay, so it is office buildings.
Okay.
There's just different sections that are offices, but each like section has its like a cafeteria that you can walk through, and that cafeteria, think of any Disney thing, it's designed that like to that theme. So they had like a area, they call it Area 41, not Area 52, but that was like their alien area. And so then they had all the like the different planet clocks on the wall.
Okay.
They had like a D&D room, so their tables were made out of like giant dice. Okay. They had a dragon that was hoarding. This is in their conference room. I don't know how people get work done in this place because you could like.
Oh, so it's like a place of business.
Yeah, it's like people actually work there, and like they had like Wizard of Oz, but like because I think if that's accurate, that it was helped designed by a Disney Imagineer, which I really could see because of how detailed everything was. Like we were there for almost 2 hours. We started getting really hungry. We made it through like one building, 1.5. So they have like Wild Wild West area, and then they have like a storybook area that we barely even got to. They have like a Harry Potter themed area, which the kids were really mad that we didn't get to, but we're like, oh, we can go a different time.
What'd you do with your sticker?
Which sticker?
It wasn't in my bag.
You took the sticker.
What?
It wasn't in my bag with my name.
Where's
Did you leave it in your car?
Probably.
We'll look for it later.
But yeah, so that was my
I got the
adventure.
Institute.
No.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Because he liked the colors.
Of course.
He didn't know. He doesn't know who Stephen King
I
is.
would say that you mean by Stephen King. That's a terrible. I mean, good book, but
Sorry.
very creepy. But yeah, it was a fun. We're gonna have to go back a different time. But like they have like a underground subway station looking thing, and they have it's in Japan, so they have like a Japanese food candy store. They have but you can't get anything.
Oh.
Everything's shut down because it's an office, and they don't staff it, so you can just wander around. But
If they're gonna have a candy store, they should have someone there to sell the candy.
I am
Listen, my son is convinced that when he's older, he's going to go to Japan. I don't know why.
to get food.
I don't know. I don't know why, but he's obsessed with the idea of going to Japan. And I said, you know what, honey? Go for it. Good for you.
Yeah, and then I went to Little America. Have you heard of that one?
Nope.
It's got a bunch of super old school fair gown rides, and each ride only costs $2.
Oh.
So the kids went on this a little kid Ferris wheel, and they went on this other one that this one scared me. This was one of their last rides before the merry-go-round. It goes up really, really high, and then it kind of circles back down, except the car looks like it's leaning.
Oh gosh.
And I was like,
No, thank you.
and it's all super old. It's all very good condition, and I had to talk myself out of being afraid of it. I was like, it's fine. Look at all these other kids are going on. Your kids will be fine. But it was fun.
That
It was
sounds
a very
fun.
adventurous day.
Nice.
But that's all that I did.
What are you reading right now? Sorry if you're done with that, but no, we're gonna talk about books.
Right,
I'm not gonna talk much about books, but
Yeah, I don't have a lot to talk about. But yeah, so if you are curious about the yarn, head over to our Etsy or Shopify shop. So we are
Shopify shop.
Shopify
It
shop.
sounds so weird. Shopify shop.
I know. It is. Make sure to comment, and subscribe so you get our Stephen West knit along updates in the upcoming weeks. We'll probably have one more release before then of a podcast. Maybe. I don't know. To be determined.
Because the next one would be our October one.
Oh, I guess, yeah. Sometimes we do it every 2 weeks. Sometimes we do it once a month. We have
We could do the end of September.
we have no consistency.
No.
So make sure
keep
to
you
head over
surprised
there.
on your toes.
Both shops have been updated, so they do have all the yarn from the yarn crawl that we did. So Mint Mojito was our most popular color,
I was gonna knit something out of that.
and then we sold almost all of it. Yeah, we don't have any stitch markers up there, but everything else we have. And I did release some of the fall colors from last year, so if you're looking for something a little cozy coming into October.
I love those colors so much. I made a sweater out of them.
You did. Head over there as well. If you have any questions, or if you're like, hey, you only have 2 of these in stock, can I get some more? Just feel free to shoot us an email. I will reply to that. And that's just magically.yarns@gmail.com. So if you don't want to listen to us ramble about books,
There will be spoilers for any book we talk about.
yeah, I'm terrible at not spoiling books, so feel free not to listen. All right. So I finished half of Crescent City 2, which you said was really boring, and I actually like that one a little
I was
better.
gonna say I liked it better than the first book. I can't remember it. The books are just so long.
So let me think what happened. They're hanging out with the mermaid guy.
Arian
She's engaged
to Cormac.
who's actually in love with somebody else. And then her cousin.
That's her brother.
Oh, her brother.
In the first book they said they were cousins because they were trying to hide her the
her
Autumn King
lineage.
was her.
Yes, the Autumn King, which they gave him a name once, and I totally forgot it. Clearly, I remember.
I don't know his name.
They mentioned it
just referred to as the Autumn King.
They say it once. So what's his name? Rune. So her brother Rune
Denon
is talking to the Fire Lady.
See the rest of it. The Crown Prince of the Valdaran Fae.
I can't even remember his name. I'm not gonna remember that. So, but I was listening to it on Hoopla, and they only have that half. And so then I was like super invested because I want to know who the fire lady is that he sees in his dreams that he communicates with. I have a few guesses, but don't spoil that part for me.
No.
I'm not gonna. That's one of the few spoilers that I'm like, don't tell me, because I want to get to that part and figure out who she is.
I will not spoil it.
So I'm actually, I had to stop thinking of it as a fantasy book and more of a mystery book, and that's kind of helped changed my. It's a mystery book with fantasy elements. They are playing detective. They have a mission they are trying to do. They're trying to uncover all these secrets, and I feel like once I started reorienting my brain into that, it helped me stray from both ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, which are very much fantasy, whereas this is oh no, we got to solve this mystery and this person and then blah 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 blah. But so it's kind of where they ended it halfway through, so I'm enjoying that one. And then I'm still reading Kingdom of Ash because I read one chapter and I was going to read one last night and I fell asleep, but I just got to the part where Dorian was caught by the Bald Queen when he was in his rat form and when he's invading Morath. And she stepped on his tail. And I'm like, yeah, you're dumb, dude, if you thought nobody was going to pick up on your magic.
Right.
I was not happy with him.
But I love him.
I do too.
So I just finished Throne of Glass, the first book. Now I've read the entire series. I'm rereading
That's why it doesn't matter what I say, because she's already
I've already read it. So I finished Throne of Glass yesterday. And listen, I love sassy Selena in the first book, and I hate Kale in the first book.
And you hate him throughout the series.
I just hate Kale. But her and Dorian, I kind of wish they would have.
Yeah, because I don't like.
They're super cute together. I'm he just he literally he fell in love with her. He was ready to drop everything to be with her, and she's just no. And I'm boo you.
She had a lot of trauma she needed to work through in book one, though.
Yeah, it was more of she couldn't let him know her secrets, and so she knew she could only go so far with him. And
I also think that they would not have been endgame anyways, because
they're so cute together.
In
the first book, I really do love them together.
Once she grew into her queenliness,
yeah, I don't know. I still
she outmatches him. I like him better. I like him better with Manon,
but
because
that's why I'm okay with it. But
she pushes him and where I think
Selena would have walked all over him.
Yeah, I think that their dynamic was different. Whereas Dorian had to go through the collar and learn.
He had to get to where he was, and then he was right for Manon.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree, but in the first book, they were just so cute.
They are cute. I don't disagree with you.
Them. And I didn't realize how much I did love them. Because some people are oh, the first book is so boring. And I love the first book.
It's such a different feel, though, than...
Even rereading it again and then, picking up on, all the subtle hints to who she is and their story. It's so good.
It is. I really like it.
So good.
I did like it.
I'm so happy I'm rereading it.
I do need to finish the other one. That's kind of on my goal of things to do.
I finished A Dawn of Onyx. Because that was my book club book last month. It was okay. Apparently the second book is really good, so I actually have it sitting on my desk waiting to be read. I'm trying to think of what else I've read. I started reading some I want to say weird, it's not weird. So I started reading the hockey romances. They were just cute. But I didn't really care for the last one I read. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was Iced Out. And I was waiting for something to happen, and there was no tension. He was just a sweet little boyfriend, and I'm I need a problem. I need some tension here.
Yeah.
And there was just nothing. It was a cute book, but it was missing something. And then I read. Okay, so don't read what I read. I started reading dark romances. I'm very picky with them, though. So I read God of Malice by Rena Kent, and it was so good. There are some problems. Don't read it. But it was so good.
That is not my cup of tea.
I know. I didn't think it was mine either, and it makes me worried about myself. But it's fine.
See? Oh, I'm Elaine. Yeah. No, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Listen, yeah, those books, the books that I like for like the dark romances, they make me question a couple of things. But again, there was a couple of them that I started reading them and I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna go into it because it's weird stuff that I don't recommend.
I just like straight up murder. That's my.
I learned why I like it. Like I'm able to like process why I enjoy it. I love the possessive male that's like obsessed with her. I love it.
It's so weird.
I know, but I love that. I love that.
Teach his own. Teach his own.
That's fine. That is what I like. And that is why I like the dark romances because they're just so obsessed with that woman.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of male I like because they all get really irritating after a while, and I don't like the more obnoxious.
Okay, but the books that I read, the women do push them back. They're like, dude, you need to calm down, and like they kind of like match it. Some of them do. Which one? Oh, King of Wrath by Anna Huang. I think I read that one before, but like she like pushes back. Like he's kind of like a that's not fantasy. Sure. But he's like meh to her, like, oh, and she's just like, I've got my own life. I don't need you, but whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they fall in love, and it's really cute. Like she doesn't let him get away with it. That's funny. Wait, yeah, I like the possessive.
Analyzing Sam here.
No, we're not. We're gonna leave my problems alone. Okay, so anyways,
just kidding.
So I read that. I read another fantasy book, but I can't remember what the name of it was right now.
Oh, I started reading a book at work the other day. I got through like 100 pages.
What book was it? You don't know?
Let me look it up because it was actually on my Goodreads for a while. I have been meaning to. It's a really interesting book because it is, it's science fiction. It is set in obviously the future, and different planets. But it's told through a series of like documents. I think it's.
I've got my Kindle and. So every month you get a sticker with your club, your yarn club, and so I've been putting them on the back of my Kindle.
Oh yeah. I just told Chris I got a sticker from work today. I'm like, can you just put it on I got a little cute little gift bag from the job I was at. It's called Illuminate.
So that's a really pretty book though.
It's told through a series of like documents. So some like it's interesting that way where you're hearing different people's perspective.
I read more books
from documents that way. Like they'll have like a transcript of like the psychologist. They'll have like emails that were, and it's set up to look like those things. So nice. I always like books that are a little bit different like that have more of the multimedia twist on them, even though like it's all just on paper.
Okay, so I found more books that I read. Okay, so I read One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. It was okay. It's a very interesting. So it's a duology. So I read the first book. The second book is Two Twisted Crowns. I feel like it was pretty predictable, but I am enjoying the story. It is kind of psychological. Okay. With like, there's a monster living in her brain. Oh, I also do really like those.
I like that.
So I did really enjoy that one as well. I started Fate of the Sun King because it's finally on Kindle Unlimited. It is the third book in the Trial of the Sun King series. And I'm about 40% of the way through, but then I stopped to read Throne of Glass because I have that one through Libby and I only get it for 2 weeks.
Is that the one you said that was like Throne of Glass?
The first book is like Throne of Glass. The second book, it's not.
I just wanted to make sense. Sure.
I did see that on Goodreads. Trial of the Sun King is the Wish version of Throne of Glass. And I was like, kinda. I could see it. Yeah, I could see that. So I started that book and then I stopped it to read Throne of Glass because I love Throne of Glass and I only get it for 2 weeks. I also have Crown of Midnight, but I have not started that yet. And right now I'm currently reading Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen, which is this month's book club I'm on the Fantasy Fangirls book club. And that's what we're reading this month. So I started reading that one because they have book club on the 20th.
And they hang out on their Boppin' Discord.
I do like their Discord. It's fun. You get a question like every day, and like the people, they are really fun in there. It really is. It's so chill, and it's
I love them. That's what I was listening to on my way here.
And that's just how their community is on there, where it's just everyone, like, they're different. They have like so many, like, they have rules, so you can't be mean. There's no bullying. There's no swearing. Like you.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you can't like cuss people. Yeah. No, on their Hangout chat, you can't swear.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It's
Because
for
like someone said, like, I don't want to get flagged by swearing. And I was like, oh, I clearly did not read the rules because like I don't.
Yeah, I don't typically
swear. But like it's like, oh, it was your first job, like, and then they have like the wed, bed, and kill. And so
Okay.
it's fun, like their daily question. And they're daily at 3:00 every day. You get a new question that you can interact with the other people.
Okay.
They have some people who are like really, really consistent with like responding to people who have their own sarcasm, and not gonna lie, it is a really good time on their Discord.
That's cool. I don't do that. I can barely keep up with my life as is, so.
I'm not on it like a ton. I do their daily question typically, unless I'm just like, oh, like one of them was like your pet or something about a pet, and I'm like, I don't have a pet.
I have children. Do they count?
Kids.
What a pet.
So I know, like today's or yesterday's was like, what was your first job?
Oh, sure.
Figure out what people do. Their one though that was like a lot of fun was like, what's your hot take on a book? And so like mine was like, I don't like the Cruel Prince series. I just don't like it. A lot of people love it, and I don't understand. Like I just don't understand why people love that series so much. And I learned I'm not alone in that either. Like there's other people who don't care for that series.
It's because the girl with the curly hair on Instagram was obsessed with that.
There's a lot of people who are.
I know she's the one that I just remember. I don't go
and
on
I'm just
Instagram
like,
as much.
I just didn't understand the appeal, and I was like, and it's on Kindle Unlimited now, so I was like, well, maybe I need to read it again, because I know part of the problem I had with it. So I was reading that book the same time I first read Throne of Glass, and the two main characters are on the same age. So she, in The Cruel Prince, she's 17, and Selena was 18.
Yeah.
Except for Selena was like cocky and arrogant, but she had like the skill to back it up.
Yeah.
Whereas I felt Jude, who's the main character of the Cruel Prince series, she didn't have the skill to back up her arrogance.
Oh, that's annoying.
And I thought she was annoying.
I don't know if
And
I can read
like,
that.
it was just, I thought it just seemed like she was an ambitious girl who was so far in over her head the entire series. To the point where I'm just like, what are you doing? Like,
Why aren't you dead yet?
how are you still here? How is this working for you? Like, what? And yeah, I didn't care for it. But I was like, maybe I'm missing something. Like, maybe I need to read it again because I just missed it.
I don't know. More people are saying no. Then maybe you can have a hot take.
Maybe I have valid reasons for not enjoying that as much as other people do. And again, like if you love that series, whatever. I clearly have my own issues that we already discussed with what I enjoy. I just don't talk about those books.
Yeah. Well, and I hated the first Crescent City book with a passion. I like the second one way better, but I'm sorry, it was boring.
So I listened to it again.
Well, that's all I did. I've never read it. I listened to it.
I actually did. I do enjoy it. It's very long, but I do enjoy it. Oh, see, with the second book, that's what it was. It was much more of the, you read about a scene and they're like, oh, this was nothing. And then they go back and they're like, oh, what did you do? Like, this wasn't nothing. And you're just, it was a lot of back and forth with that one.
Oh, maybe I don't mind that as much.
So, I mean, it's fine. It was just...
They're busy lamenting over all the dead people, so... Right now. I'm like, oh yeah. Because they went to the bone quarter.
Oh!
And they realize that they just get zapped into the ether. They get fed on by the hysteria.
They get fed on the second light.
And she's like, well, I'm glad I traded my soul for this. That sucks.
Yeah. And then the last book makes no sense at all.
Do you think it was just trying to play into the ACOTAR fandom too much?
There was just... No, I think when she was trying to wrap things up, it just didn't make sense. Like, when she was trying to, like, fill in plot.
Gaps,
yeah. You're just like, what? Really? You made that choice? That's a choice that you made.
Clearly, we have no problem with this author as...
No, I love her.
You bought the collection.
Sarah J. Maas, I love her.
I
I was so hoping for some ACOTAR 6 news. Anyways.
All right.
That's it. I don't know. Let us know what you're reading if you stayed around this long.
It's been an hour. Well, it will be an hour. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please let me know if you also enjoy books that make you question your sanity.
I do that on a daily basis. I don't need books to help me. Clearly insane.
There's a book I'm like, I'm enjoying this so much. What is wrong with me? I shouldn't be enjoying this.
You got through the dark. You realized when you started reading The Butcher the Blackbird.
Yeah, that's true.
That like started that like trajectory of you're a psychohead.
Listen, serial killers falling in love. Who does not want that?
I didn't say that I didn't like that, but I already knew that I'm crazy. You just have to embrace the insanity.
I have just embraced it. It's fine. I don't care. I don't talk about those books with anybody else, so it's our little secret.
Just you and the internet.
Just me and me.
You guys and all 212 subscribers.
All right, so I'm gonna go to bed now because I'm clearly tired.
All right. Well, thank you for listening.
We'll
and
see
watching.
you next time.
I'm not tired.